Hey guys, welcome back to another Collingwood review on the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the pre-season game and the final pre-season game that occurred today between Hawthorn and Collingwood down at Tassie, and yeah, this was the final practice game for us leading into round one, which is good to see. So let's get straight into what occurred and what I took out of Collingwood versus Hawthorn. So obviously we got up by 6 points in a high-scoring game. I wasn't really expecting it to be that high-scoring, but it certainly was quite high-scoring. And I think we played quite well for majority of it, but yeah, there were a few concerning things. I'll go over it separately, but I think the most concerning thing that I took out of it was the ball movement by the Hawks was concerning. The way they were able to take the ball away from us. I mean, we came out of the blocks. We started really, really well. A few blokes that I really want to comprehend because they were clearly the causes of it, and there were a few players that really stepped up. There was players that dominated from Hawthorn as well, and it wasn't good, obviously. I mean, as much as I liked that we'd won the game, I was a bit disappointed, especially seeming we conceded 100 points to Hawthorn. Our defence, I don't think, conceded 100 at all last season, so that is a little bit concerning. It is a pre-season game. I could see we weren't trying for every single quarter, every single minute of every single quarter, but there certainly were times where we lacked, and obviously we're not going to full out try in a practice game, but this is a practice game where you should be trying a lot more than last week. And the game was quite even. I thought Hawthorn had some chances that they probably should have taken, and probably the result actually flooded us in the end. Even though we did miss some chances too, I still feel like the Hawks probably should have won the game in the end. We did have more scoring shots, one more scoring shot than them. But yeah, there was a few players, unfortunately, that dominated from Hawthorn. Foggers Green was dominant. Dylan Moore was dominant. There was a few others. But yeah, look, it's not the best, basically. Our defence was not the best, to be honest. And I did think we were managing a few plays in this game. I do think we were managing Pendlebury quite a bit, which is good. He didn't play at all in the fourth term. I also think we were managing Jeremy Howe quite well, which is good because we know how injury-prone Jeremy Howe can be. I think we were also, in a way, managing a few other players, but not as big as those two. Basically, the two that I really wanted to mention. Now, Nick Dacos is probably the big thing that people were probably expecting me to be talking about, and yeah, Nick Dacos getting tagged obviously is not great. I mean, you got to tag him really because he's a gun. He can take the game away from you, and he's a very damaging player. But it just shows that Sydney tagged him last season, and they were able to beat us because of it. Now, I'm not saying it's a one-player effort. It's the team effort, but we did have a bit of a scare against Hawthorn, and it certainly made me change the way I think about Hawthorn. I think they'll be a pretty damaging side, but maybe it also changes the way that I think about us, and it certainly did change the way I think about us leading up into the season. And obviously I haven't done my season predictions yet, but they'll be coming out after the final game of these practice games. And yeah, I guess there was one big thing that you were also expecting me to talk about, and that is the injury to Patrick Lipinski. Really, really unfortunate. Looked like he did a bit of an AC joint in that final quarter. Yeah, that's just horrible. Lipinski got injured last season in the preseason game, and he also was carrying that shoulder injury, so he's had issues with it, and recently as well, which is not great. He just fully returned to training really about January, mid-January, I reckon. But yeah, that's not great. If there was a practice game next week, I can guarantee you he wouldn't be playing in it. But because there's a 2 week break, I do think we may play him. Like, we may risk playing him. But I'm not 100% sure about that. I still think he'll be okay for round one, but yeah, just something to keep an eye on. And yeah, if it pulls up really, really badly, we'll obviously take note of that. And I think we've got the depth to cover him. It's just he's just such an amazing player, and he was best on when he got injured. I can clearly say now. Had 2 goals, 22 touches, brilliant amount of clearances. He was just eating up the footy. Same with Tom Mitchell, Jack Crisp, Taylor Adams, and Jordan De Goey. De Goey was amazing. I just want to say he looks sharp. He looks elite. He looks like he's in the prime of his career. He looks sensational in the midfield today. He was probably our best player in the end because Lipinski got injured. But yeah, Lipinski, De Goey, great signs. Absolutely fantastic. He did miss a few chances though, De Goey. And look, yeah, chances we did miss. There's a few other things that we're kind of annoyed at. Darcy Moore didn't play too well, which obviously isn't great, but hopefully he can build up and do maybe a little bit better. Another thing was Dan McStay. He did kick 2 goals, but yeah, we just weren't kicking it to him really. I don't know if we're scared of just bombing it to our key forwards. We were targeting Myercheck a lot more than McStay, proving that Myercheck will probably be our deepest forward. And there is a little bit of an injury concern to him, Matt Corky, but he'll be fine, I reckon. He's got 2 weeks. I don't really need to mention that. He should be fine. If he's not, then that's obviously disappointing. And yeah, look, McStay, not great. Billy Frampton as well. He's had a great pre-season and everything, but yeah, it just didn't look great in this game, to be honest. I'm pretty sure he was matched up on Forgus Green. He conceded 3 goals, and he just did a few silly mistakes in this game, and I'm not sure if that's going to get him selected or not. Will Hoskin-Elliott he didn't play any of it until the 4th quarter. He came on, he did a few nice things, but yeah, I just don't see him getting a game right now. I mean, he did kick a goal and stuff. I think there's other blokes ahead of him, McCreary, Hill. When Ginnivan's back, he'll probably take his spot. Reece McInnes is looking great. Carmichael was probably a little bit better than him in that final term. Jamie Elliott, of course. It is a stacked forward line, and even when you throw Lipinski and De Goey and even Taylor Adams, who we, were like resting forward in there, it's a stacked forward line, and I just don't see him getting a spot right now. But yeah, there are some bad injury concerns for Lipinski, but we're going to have to wait for the scans and really hope it's okay. But Jordan De Goey was amazing. He just looked brilliant. Also, Maynard didn't play, which was a bit unfortunate. Little infection, but should be okay for round 1. But yeah, this has been it was a pretty good game in the end. I mean, we did win, but look, it wasn't the best. I've just got to say, in terms of playing wise, you want to be taking more convincing wins than that. Obviously, that's our goal this season, to be winning more consistently. And yeah, we didn't do that too well in this game. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be coming out round 1 against Geelong. But yeah, I won't be doing any more Collingwood reviews until that. And yeah, hopefully we can start the season off strong, especially with our hard start to the season.